Wednesday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl Shakenya, when you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel Shakenya and hit subscribe, guys. Look at some of the videos, and if you see any of them that you like, just hit share. It's not hard to do. It's not. Trust me, it's not. I'm so used to getting up in the morning, being at that cigar bar at 9 o'clock for the last month. You know, he changed the time to 1. I don't even know how to act. I swear, getting up, chilling, relaxing on the porch, don't have to be there until 1 o'clock. I'm just, that's all it takes for me. It's going to take a lot to shake that today. It's going to take a lot. So, y'all, today I labeled it all over the place because we are all over the place. If you just not following me, you just started following me, you only seen a couple videos, you might be confused. Like I say, you might get something today and it might not hit you until a couple days from now when you see another video. But those who've been watching me, y'all pretty much on point. Y'all know where we at. Y'all know what we doing, you know. So we're here now. This is your 4th year. We're focusing a lot on mental health because I'm quite sure if your baby mama, baby daddy been using them manipulation tips ever since our 9th grade year when we got started, yeah, your baby is batty as hell. Your baby suffering and I don't mean to laugh, I'm just saying, because all this can be prevented. You know what I'm saying? So to know now you've been using these manipulation tips and your baby is experiencing some mental health issues now. You know, they're dealing with disorders now. You know, they either don't gain weight or they losing weight. They sad all the time or they just don't know what to do. They miserable. Like, yeah, all this is because you removed that parent from their life, whether you know it or not. I know you happy. Yeah, you happy. You don't have to deal with them no more. You happy. And then again, you might not be. You might be sad because as a result of you getting rid of them, you don't see them no more. So you might have turned into a stalker now on Facebook or something, or a social media stalker now. You making fake pages so that you can follow them and see what they doing, right? Because you ain't dealing with them no more. But that was the mission. I don't know why somebody would make that a mission. I don't know why somebody would purposely put their child at a disadvantage by only having one parent. I don't know why. I swear to you, I don't. He couldn't have did it without me. And I couldn't have did it without him. She wouldn't have been where she was if it wasn't for both of us working together. Even though the work was rickety and raggedy and it wasn't a smooth system put in place, in my mind, it was working enough for me to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish. And that's become legendary, right? That was to be the first millionaire in my family. That was to get my kids out the hood. That was for all of us to be prosperous and live a good life, right? My main goal was making sure my children were happy. And in the midst of me making them happy, I was helping them find their own happiness. I was hoping that we can generate some wealth along the way, right? Because we all know money don't make you happy. You know what I'm saying? So one of my goals was to make sure my children know how to find happiness within, right? I ain't got nothing going on right now, and I'm so happy right now chilling on my porch. Quiet, peaceful, sipping my coffee, writing in my journal. I know. This is the life that I created for myself. Yeah. It might not be what you want, but this is what I created for myself. Yeah. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to work when I want to work. I wanted to get up when I felt like getting up. I mean, and those just shallow reasons, but you know what I'm saying? I'm okay right now. I'm in a good headspace, right? So, let's get back to business. We're talking about the manipulation tips for your 9th grade year, and we're looking at the damage that has caused now over time. We're looking at, we got our boards out, so we're looking at our clues, we're looking at our suspects, we're looking at our questions, trying to figure out who planting seeds and poisoning your baby and turning your baby against you. We're talking about mental health disorders. And now we're talking about relationships. So we're picking up from yesterday, and I cannot recap yesterday. Please go back and look at the video. But we're recapping from yesterday. So we're going to pick it up, and we're talking about the relationships with the siblings. We're talking about the roles, the responsibilities, respect, representation, and reputation as it relates to that relationship, right? So we mentioned the start of psychological damage yesterday. Oh, y'all look so cute. If I wasn't live, I would take a picture. I got a page on Facebook called Hey Black Man, And it's just a lot of positive quotes for our brothers, and I have pictures, and sometimes this will be a perfect picture to put up. Because y'all like a perfect picture right now. Good morning. Enjoy y'all day. Hey, little man. Did y'all get him a manager yet? With his handsome self? See how you talk? Get him a manager, I'm telling you. I probably won't see y'all no more because y'all gonna hit it rich and be moved something to California or something. But get him a manager, okay? Oh my God, you're gonna be 5? Oh my goodness. He getting so big. Oh, he getting so big. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm live. Okay. So we talked about the start of the psychological damage when you remove a child from a family and there's no abuse or neglect. So when there is none, you have to create it. And that's where the manipulation tips come in at, right? So you have some, and these are some people that I've worked with through the Attitude Adjustment Youth Program, right? Because you got to confess everything when we have our family meetings. And I'm going to tell you some of the stuff that they've done, right? This is one example of something that they have done when there's no abuse or neglect, what a parent has done, the lengths that a parent will go through, right? So you want to create an unhealthy environment. So if you're trying to create a case for CPS, or you're trying to create a case for people in your section, your sector, and you're trying to prove to them why this child deserves to be with you, or the child is better off with you, or that the other parent is not a good fit or unfit, or however way you want to put it, you can create that. You can actually have the child film. Let's say the child has chores to do. You can have that child film before they complete their chores, right? If you have a situation where you have a parent that do spring cleaning once a month, they remove everything from the shelves, they throw everything, all the clothes out and rearrange and go through, they probably got OCD or something, I don't know, they going through and you tell the child to film that because they know you. Y'all was in a relationship together, remember? So they know you, they know your habits, they know your patterns, they know what you do, they know your rituals, they know that whole nine, right? So they know that you do this. They'll tell the child to do that. Some kids might not ask questions for why are they doing this. They're just going to do it. They're just going to be an obedient child doing what their parent told them to do. And they're going to film. They're going to take pictures. Fix it, Jesus. This is to try to build a case up. Yep. So you got some parents that's going to say just do it. The child going to do it. Then you got some parents that might just blankly tell you why they doing it. Look, if you want to get away from this house and you want to come stay with us, we got to make people believe, or we got to let them know why you need to get away. We got to show proof of why we have to get you away. They tell the kid, because remember, if they have an inappropriate relationship, it's them against you. So it's not uncommon for them to talk to the child about exactly what the plans are, you know, because like I said, the baby, when she was here with me, she acted like the perfect child. And that should have been a red flag for me. I know, you like, if they're a perfect child, I want a perfect child. I want a child, I don't have to holler at, I don't have to, but no, it was too perfect. I didn't have no issues. I didn't have no problems. That night I dropped her off was the first time we actually got into an argument where she actually raised her voice at me, right? I know. That fight that her and her sibling had, that was the first fight that they ever had. Because I didn't play that with the kids. I don't believe in kids fighting, siblings fighting one another. Yeah, you'll get your ass towed up if you call yourself fighting your sister or your brother. You know what I mean? Yeah, we don't play it. We stick together, right? So, fix it, Jesus. Fix it. Yeah, you'll be surprised what parents will go through. They be so diabolical, they'll go through great lengths to try to bring you down. Yep, if they still bitter and hurt, and that's the only mission in life. Oh, yeah. So, you use, they'll get you on those deep cleaning days. Yep, they'll take those pictures, and they'll use that as evidence to make it seem as if the child is in an unsafe environment, or it's unclean, or it's not, you know. I know. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. So now, you teaching a child to plot on their parent. Because at this point, you have to assassinate their character. So that's where your reputation come in at. Yeah, that's what people start to know about you. You a deadbeat. You don't do this for your child. You ain't in your child's life. You ain't seen your baby. This is the reputation being built up. The narrative that's being written for you as it pertains to the child, right? Because this is what they have to do. So now you have a child that's plotting on this parent and helping to assassinate this parent's character. Fix it, G. Think about the psychological damage that causes. That's the same as you unaliving somebody and making your child help you bury it. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. And then they got to keep this secret. Can you think about any damage that would you think, is it any damage that's going to be caused as a result of that? Think about that for a second. Can you think about anything that could possibly be going on in that child's head to know that this is what they're doing to their own parent and thinking it's okay, making it seem as if it's, fix it, Jesus, fix it, Jesus. So we left off yesterday with putting out the same energy. The same energy you put out to your baby mama, your baby daddy is the same energy you should get back. If it's fight on sight, every time y'all see each other, y'all talking about each other, mama and daddy and whatnot, it is what it is. At least y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all either playing fair or you fighting fair, right? So that energy that you put out, you should get it back. You should get it back. So when she was in my care, if he was giving me back the same, there is no way she wouldn't be in our life. There's no way. You know, when we talked about the product a couple weeks ago, after teaching all the classes, it was a good chance that the product was a good kid. I had good kids. All of them. All of them. With Jeremy, you know, I don't want to say he wasn't a good kid, but you got to keep in mind that although Jeremy was the reason for the youth program, you got to keep in mind he's not my son. He's not my biological son. And this is the first time I'm saying this because I've raised him as if he was. You couldn't tell me that he's not my son. Even to this day, I treat him as he's my son, not my little brother. You know, I think I spent a lot of time being mother to my little brothers that I neglected my sibling relationships, and I want to work on those. You know what I mean? Since we're talking about siblings, I definitely want to work on myself because I was so much being a mom to siblings. It threw off, I think, some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to keep in mind he's not my biological son. And he was born while my mom was using drugs at the time. You know, so it's going to be a difference. But the 3 biological children that I have, I didn't have any. I didn't use drugs when I had them. You know what I'm saying? And that probably played a part. They were born healthy. You know, I took care of myself while I was pregnant. That plays a big part on your child's birth and how your child it makes a big difference, guys. So please, when you pregnant, don't use drugs. Take your vitamins. Go to your doctor's appointments. I know we skidding off a little bit, but it is what it is. So, yeah. So, yeah, my children, I didn't have any behavior issues or anything out of them. I got exactly what I put in. And I'm going to include Jay because Jay was a part of a lot of the projects that we had. You know what I mean? So, I got out what I put in. So, all those classes I taught, I saw them in my children. Yep. So, example, what do you think you're going to get if you have, what's the product or the outcome or what you think you're going to get if you have your child volunteer? I don't care where they volunteer at. You take them to the shelter to volunteer. You know, they feed the homeless once a year or however way you do it. Every other week, y'all doing something for the people in the community. What do you think the product of that is going to be? I didn't have them volunteer at shelters, but they volunteered at every event that we had. We did a back-to-school rally every year. We gave away backpacks. We had an annual backpack rally, you know, back-to-school rally. So my daughters every year had to fill backpacks. You know, they had to voluntarily fill the backpacks. Every event, they had to be hostesses. They had to help set up. They had to help break down. They had to help, like, volunteering, meaning they didn't get paid for none of this stuff, right? When I would volunteer for the campaigns, they would go out with me and pass out the leaflets and stuff like, volunteer, doing something that they ain't getting paid for. Like, what do you think the product of that is going to be? Well, you definitely going to have a child that's humble and grounded. You definitely going to, especially if they're in a situation where they seeing misfortune, and they seeing people who are less fortunate than they are. Yeah, it's going to put them in a state of mind to where it's probably going to help them be grounded, humble, definitely going to care about humanity and care about people and things, you know. So they will probably want to help whenever they can. They'll probably help. They know the importance of giving back. Yep. And I seen all that in my kids. Yeah, because that's what I put in them, right? when we would be out and they would have to pass out flyers for the program. They would have to tell the people what the program is about. So they would have to tell these people that this, whatever the event is, whatever the program is, whatever they passing out the flyer for, whatever the campaign is, whoever was running, they had to make sure they had all the key points that they needed to let this person know what was going on. Yeah, my kids had to do that. They was put on front. Here, tell them, blah, 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 and then they go do it. Blah, 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 right? Well, you're probably going to get a child with good communication skills. Yeah. You're probably going to get a child that's articulate. Yeah. Yeah, because after you telling them what they need to say, you're correcting them. So you're making sure they say the right words and the right context. So, yeah, you're probably going to get a kid that's articulate. A people person, maybe. And if they're not a people person, they know how to handle themselves when they're around people. Probably going to have a child that got the gift to gab. Yeah. That's a secret weapon, whether you know it or not. It's a secret power, and it can be used for good or evil. I get it from my mama. Yeah, my mama's a substance abuse user. And I know, you probably thinking bad. You think about every substance abuser you know. But do you think about the fact that a substance abuser can sell you some socks at the gas station and you don't even need them? What type of skill does it take for somebody to sell you some socks that you don't even need, right? How many times you done bought deodorant from somebody at the gas? You don't even need it. You probably don't even. They slick talked you so fast and so quick to where you bought it, right? So, gift to gab, it's a superpower. It's a superpower. So, them having to do that probably have no fear when it comes to speaking engagements. Yeah. I'm quite sure when my daughters had to do their presentations at the end of the year, what was that? At DSLA, ELE something. They used to have to do a presentation at the end of the year to sum up everything that they've learned or whatever. They would have to stand in front of the teachers, and we would support every year. I don't care if we had to take off work for that little 15 minutes. We took off work to support these girls when they did their little presentations, right? So, definitely helps them speaking in front of crowds and stuff. So, yeah, that's the product. I seen all that in my kids. So, when I be telling y'all I had a perfect world, I wish my world would be, yeah, that's perfect for me. You know what I mean? Because I seen all the classes that I taught in my children. What I tell you is what's taught, not what's bought, right? Because what you teach them, they take that with them when they grow up and get older. So now we're going back to yesterday, and all I did was talk about a couple of things that I should have been getting back when it comes to putting out the same energy. And if that was done for me, how the relationships would have remained intact. So just the fact that I kept in contact, calling, I ain't heard from him since she been over there, but when she was living with me, I would call. If he didn't answer, I would text. If I was doing anything, taking her anywhere, like the jail tour, stuff like that, riding on my motorcycle, stuff like that, I would actually let him know this is what we're doing. If we had an event where she's volunteering with me, because I used to have to set up vendor tables at schools to promote the youth program, I would take the baby or Kennedy with me. So, drop her off like clockwork. Yep. That's something. If the child is in your care, you make sure you drop that baby off to the other parent, or find a way, make a way for that parent to be able to come pick that child up. Y'all should both be able to share that child equally. Y'all both should have equal time with those children, if possible. Even if they live in another state, that parent should have the whole summer. If y'all can't do weekend by weekend, like, it's a way to work it out to where y'all both have somewhat equal time with that baby. When she had an issue with him, I would let him know. If your child ever comes to you with an issue that they have with the other parent, especially if it's something that they mad about or something that they don't like, and you know the reasons why the parent is probably doing it, your job as the other parent is to talk to that child, calm that baby down, soothe that baby, tell that baby the reason why that parent is doing what they doing, especially if it's in the best of their interests. You defend that parent. That's your ally. Y'all in this together. And then you call them and you let them know so they can talk to the baby and regurgitate or re-say everything, and repeat everything that you just told them to clarify to that baby that that's what it is. Y'all present a unified front. Just the fact that the baby knows that y'all communicate with each other. So the last thing they're going to do is try to run game on y'all, try to run the manipulation tips on y'all, because they know if you tell one something, they're going to go back and tell the other. Yeah, y'all got to keep it tight. Y'all got to keep it tight. No loose ends, no gaps. Never talk bad about him. Never allowed anybody to talk bad about him in front of the baby. I ain't saying I ain't talk bad about him. Talk bad about your ass, stinking ass mama. Ooh, Fix It Jesus, a Christian show. Lord, fix it. I'm trying, Lord. Hold thy tongue. Hold thy tongue. But not in front of that baby. All the baby heard was how your daddy doing, how your grandma doing. Everybody all right over there? They need anything? Everybody good? Or she hear me calling her stepmom, I'm at the grocery store, do you need anything? And then we going back to drop these groceries. That's all she heard, right? So, never did that. Never. Made her respect them. Never let her say anything out the way or bad, right? Shared equally. Every award that I have gotten, that she has gotten that came to this house, I made copies and made sure he got a copy of it. I showed care and concern for his family by asking how they're doing every time I picked her up. As far as taking care of his father after the divorce. You heard me? I know you looking, some of y'all just choked right now on your coffee. Shit. Yep, and it's simple. It ain't too complicated to figure out. He moved him in with us, and right after we broke up, the dad was still here. And when he left, he took his radio, but he left his daddy. So when his daddy woke up and said, what am I going to do now? What can you do? This is home for you. I'm not going to put you out. How many of you would have put him out? I'm just saying. Fix It Jesus, I'm just asking. Here it is. Your baby mama, your baby daddy, your wife, your husband just left you in the worst way. You ain't got no money. They did you dirty and they gone and they daddy here. Is you gonna keep him? Or is you gonna put him out and call him and tell him come get his daddy? What you gonna do? I'm not here to judge. I took care of the daddy 4 years. No financial assistance from him, his sister, his wife, nobody, right? So I showed care and concern for the family. That's why I be tripping. So don't just think I just be tripping and playing the victim. I just want what I put out. That's all. Because I'm used to getting those results back. So if I took this much care for your father, why wouldn't you care about my kids and how they're going to react and how they're going to get through being separated from their sibling? Considering how he knows how close I've raised them. Why? Because we was married. He was in the same house. So he know how I am when it comes to the kids taking care of one another, right? Fix It Jesus. When it comes to those sibling relationships, they loved her. And they showed love. Yeah. They supported her. Everybody supported each other. Yeah. What I tell you, when they had their presentations, we all went. We was all in the hallway. For those 10 minutes. Took off work, missed a day of work. Just to be in that hallway, just to see her face, both of their faces when they come out from their presentation. Support. They supported each other, right? They was there for each other in their time of need. That's how I raised them to be. Yeah. When she lost people on his side of the family, we went to comfort her. Yeah. So when it comes to sibling relationships, it's a give and take. You got to get that back. She's supposed to be giving that back. So if they going through anything right now, she's supposed to be there, Johnny on the spot. Just like they was there for her, Johnny on the spot. That's what you teach your children. That's how you teach those values and those morals. They got to give it back. It has to be reciprocated. And you got to make sure of that. So the fact that she's not here to be there for them in their time of need, that's selfish. But that's how that dad, that's the ways of that parent. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. So they protected that baby. They protected each other. I wouldn't be short for saying that they would die for one another. I wouldn't just be saying that just to say that. We would die for one another. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. When it comes to parent and child relationship, y'all see how I am with other people's kids. Fix it, Jesus. So why wouldn't you think I would be like that with my own? Right? I'm in love with my children. I love them so much. Like you would get tired of hearing me brag about them. Just like I know they was probably bragging about me. Right? Supported her. Yeah, when you support your kids, you there for your kids supposed to get that back. Yeah. Everything's supposed to be reciprocated. The same energy you putting out is supposed to be given back. So there is no way I shouldn't be in her life or a part of her life. Right? Because she's never seen nothing from me but love. That's all I've ever shown. Right? So It should be a bond there. It should be, so if he did the same, it would be something there. So the relationships you have with your parents sometimes affect the relationship you have with your siblings. Yep. The relationship you have with your siblings sometimes affect the relationship you have with your nieces and nephews. Yeah. So work on your relationships, especially with your immediate family. Like, I don't talk to my family every day, all day, or anything like that, but we on Facebook. We comment on each other's stuff on Facebook. I'm not even gonna lie. And Facebook does count, so I keep in contact. They always get together. They just got together for my little cousin's send-off. And my cousin Koya just cooked, and I couldn't go neither time because I was at the radio show when they got together for the graduation, for the send-off. And then I had to work. I think I was working when my cousin was cooking. But I had so much fun with my family on both sides, right? So I hate that I couldn't be there. But they've been hanging. They've been, getting together. So, we cool. Ain't no beefing. Like, you shouldn't be beefing with your sibling. You shouldn't be beefing with your sister or your brother. Like, y'all shouldn't be fighting. Like, it's okay to have disagreements and agree to disagree, but it should never get to a point where y'all beefed out, y'all fighting, and y'all not talking to each other. Y'all don't have no type of relationship. Yeah, so working on strengthening the family. We going back to basics. We back when the relationships was good. So if you did have a good relationship with your sibling, go back to when it was good before y'all fell off and things kind of fell apart. See if it's anything y'all can do to fix it. And it's always a yes. It's always a way to fix it. Yeah. So see if you can go back and fix it. It tears me up. Yeah. So I think that was it, y'all. Shoot. I think that was it. Not talking about you all night. Oh, manipulation tip for today. Not talking about you at all. Remember we talked about that in your 9th grade year? It was like, talking bad about you is one thing because they talking about you, they talking about parenting concerns, but also not talking about you at all. Like when a child get in the car and they want to tell you, my mama did this, my daddy did this, right? You got some parents that will turn the music up. You got some parents that will just flat out ignore. You got some parents that will get on their phone and act like the child not talking about nothing. And then you got some parents that will just tell the child, I don't want to hear nothing about them. Right? So right there, they're not talking about you. All those awards on my wall in my office. Y'all think my kids be talking about me and bragging about me? All that stuff that we did, right? Imagine every weekend you going over your daddy house or your mama house, right? And every time they get in the car, they got something to talk about, right? I know in my case, every time I dropped her off, she had to have something to talk about. Either she talking about we filming for my book. Think about that. Because we were filming parts of the trailer for the book, right? So imagine jumping in the car, we just filmed. Or imagine jumping in the car saying we just left the radio station. My mama radio show. My mama had such and such on her radio show. Imagine that though. Imagine talking about just leaving a vending event at a school where you met a principal and you met other people and social workers and other kids and stuff because your mama had a table set up because she was promoting her youth program. Imagine going home on the weekend and talking about, oh my God, my mama took us to a prison tour for her program. I met the sheriff. I met this person. I met that person. I met this politician. I met that politician because I was with my mama when we volunteered on the campaign. I seen them same people on TV. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Imagine just saying my mama just flew in from Jamaica. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Imagine coming in and talking, so we had a photo. I know, the list goes on. We just did a photo shoot. Dad. I know, but we just did it. By not acknowledging all of that, that's making it seem like whatever I'm doing is nothing. Means nothing. Not even worth talking about. Not even worth listening to. Not even worth giving credit for. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. Fix it. So, not talking about you, that manipulation technique is more powerful than them talking bad about you. So, I think that's it. I'm trying to get you ready for your test. Tomorrow we're going to dip into the different dynamics of the relationships, and we're going to get back to mental disorders. So, that's it, y'all, for Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. I got to get ready and go to work. All right, y'all, who is this? I think this is TikTok. All right, TikTok, I'm out. Who is this? Facebook. All right, Facebook, I'm out. Enjoy y'all day. Hey, Doug.